Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another session here in Reader's Magnet's featured author interview. My name is Leah, and I will be your host for today. And with me is one of the Reader's Magnet's featured author, and of course, one of the most valuable author we have. And today we are very happy and excited as he will be sharing to us what this book is all about, him as an author, and of course, what inspired him to write this book. So, everyone, let's all welcome our one and only Mr. Birol Bahadir, author of the book Between Two Worlds: The Life of an Immigrant. All right. Hello, Birol. How are you doing? It's good to see you.
Oh, Leah, I'm doing good. How are you?
That's good to hear. Yeah, I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much. All right, Birol. So this is the moment that we've been waiting for because it's now time to know more information about your book and, of course, who you are as an author. So yeah, before we tackle more information about that, we'd like to know who Mr. Birol Bahadir is. So will you please, give us a little bit of self-introduction?
Yes, I am an author of the book Between Two Worlds. Of course, I was born in Germany. I grew up in Germany. I moved to the United States 18 years ago. Yes, and I want to tell you, my parents are from Turkey. They immigrated in 1960 to Germany. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I wrote that book. I grew up between two cultures. I had a
Mm-hmm.
difficult time to know where I belong. From the one side, I had my family as a Turkish family, and from the other side, I had my friends and
Mm-hmm.
school, and so I was between. I was between, stuck, didn't know where to belong. That's why I wrote my book.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that to us, Birol. So the whole idea about you creating this book is also based on your own experience between two worlds. Wow, and that's really interesting. So thank you so much for that, Birol. So it's now time to tackle more information, deeper information about your experience by this book. So between two worlds, the life of an immigrant. So will you please tell us what this book is all about and how did you started it?
I mean, I started it 10 years ago. I stopped between, of course. I started writing.
Mm-hmm.
I suffered from depression, and this book actually helped me a little bit to write it down. And what I wanted to say is when me and my family came to the United States, we got scammed. We were homeless,
Oh.
and we had to start from scratch, from zero. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to inspire people. We could have give up, but we didn't. We would keep going, keep going, keep going. Now I'm a business owner. I have my own house, and everyone can do that. Don't give up. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Do the right thing. That's what all about in that book. Inspire people. Never give up. There is always
Wow.
a light end of the tunnel, please.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Thank you so much for that, Birol. And you know what, Birol? This is truly an inspirational, message to everyone who's also, having the same situation as what you have, experienced from the past. Because I believe that life of an immigrant is really not easy. Once settled, immigrant looks for work, and you mentioned earlier that you also experienced to be scammed because.
Yes.
Again, there were never enough jobs for immigrant, and employers often took advantage of the immigrants as well. As based on my research, men were also generally paid less than other workers, and women less than men. There's really a lot of social tensions. Were also, part of the immigrant experience, right?
Yes.
So. Wow, and this is really, a powerful way of you also showing, um, let's say, advocating for a specific cause and agenda to really talk about these kinds of topic. Never neglect this because again, it needs to be validated. Wow, and
Yes.
thank you so much for for being an instrument for this, Birol. And you know what, Birol, we also wanted to share what was the the or let's say what was the idea of immigration. What is the idea of immigration for you?
Uh, what I'm saying is do the right thing. Don't
Mm-hmm.
get in trouble. This will affect you later,
Right.
your green card or for your future. Even if you are in a situation like out of status, that's how
Mm-hmm.
we became illegals. Uh,
Right.
even then, please do the right thing. You are an immigrant. You still can
Mm-hmm.
pay your taxes. You still can, you know, go to work and don't get in trouble. That's what I'm saying. And at the end,
Right.
it will be good. I mean, we got our green cards already. Thanks God, it helped.
Mm-hmm.
We paid taxes
Mm-hmm.
before. We like regular immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
who has the papers or not. But it helped us a lot. They look at your
Mm-hmm.
background first. If you got
Mm-hmm.
in trouble, and if you were in trouble, there is really not much chance to get your green card.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's really full of idea, Birol. And thank you so much for sharing that to us. Now let's get to the exciting part. On your experience being an immigrant, how has your dual Turkish-German, identity influenced you and your writing, especially right now that you're already sharing your whole story to a lot of people?
Yes, sure. I mean, as you know, as you can imagine, I have lived a life between two identities over the years as an
Mm-mm.
immigrant. First, like a Turkish, and like a German. Well, but it wasn't too late that I figured out my true self hang between two cultures.
Mm,
I believe it is only an experience that immigrants can understand who live between two cultures. But it is also allowed me to learn about each tradition like people and ritual. Leah.
Traditions.
Yes,
Okay.
traditions. This experience offered me a different outlook on things like elements that only judge while living in a different surroundings. And as you can visibly see the richness that I got in my personality, all I
Mm-hmm.
have learned over the years can be seen in my writings.
Mm-hmm.
This was my
Oh wow. Thank you so much for that, Birol. And you know what? Right now, also let's say what are the social problems of immigrants and migrants, because based on my research, intersectionality issues such as social economic class, difference, religion,
yes,
education, let's say even sexual orientation, and age in addition to cultural differences also, impact work with, let's say, immigrants families. For example, there are many social economic class differences as well as religious and educational differences, among all people. And that being said, BRL, can you also share to us the impactful incidents that led to themes like, let's say, relationships and also Islamophobia in your book?
yes,
Because I believe that also
yes,
talks about it, right? Mm-hmm.
that's correct, Clear. So, well, of course, I speak with experience that your roots, identities, and place where you come from generally impact your life. I
Mm-hmm.
will give you an example about me. My first relationship was with a girl, German girl, who is now my
Mm,
wife.
interesting.
Yes,
Wow,
and I
that's interesting. Okay,
have
go
now
ahead.
40 years.
For 40 years. Wow,
Yes,
that's amazing.
yeah. I mean, so my time with her was full of love and joy. Things ended in our favor, but it wasn't always like that. And
Mm-hmm.
just like uh, any other romantic story, mine also had a twists and turns. Her parents actually made a fuss about my Turkish identity and had major problems with my Turkish background because they didn't know about people from another country. It was
Mm-hmm.
all like a stranger, you know. I was a
Mm-hmm.
stranger to them. So as soon
Right.
but as soon as they knew about my roots, they pushed her to end everything we had. But with all the differences, we ended up together. But
Wow.
it does not happen to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Right,
But
right.
we were fortunate. There is an element that smacks Islamophobia out,
Mm-hmm.
but holding the entire culture accountable
Mm-hmm.
is a little bit extreme. That's my seeing.
Yeah. All right. And you know what, girl, you sharing that, the relationship that you have with your wife, and understanding, this is also very important to really show empathy to others. Empathy is really important because it really would also help us understand how others are feeling, so that we can also respond appropriately to these, specific situation or any kind of situation, right?
Yes,
Because right now it is typically associated with, let's say, social behavior, and there is a lot of research showing that greater empathy would really lead to more helping behavior, a good relationship towards
yes.
someone, right?
I
Thank you
want
so much for that, girl.
what I wanted
I'm
to
sorry, go ahead.
say too is, don't get mad if someone judge you the first time. Like the
Mm-hmm.
parents of my wife, they
All
don't
right.
know about you. But as soon as you meet them and they meet you, you know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
will change because
Mm-hmm.
they have to know you first. They think only, oh, he's from another country. We don't know him, and it's like it's a different world. But you have
Mm-hmm.
to have patience.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right. You also need to, consider other stuffs as well, not just, minding your own business, but when
yeah,
it comes to having a good relationship, you also need to have a better knowledge, a thorough understanding. What are they doing, these stuffs, in order for you to better
yes,
understand them. Wow,
yes, of
that's great,
course,
Birol.
of
Yes.
course.
And also, Birol, how has living, between German and Turkish cultures affected your, understanding of these, whole societies?
I mean, I now understand how a person's uh, experiences, relationships, and background
Mm-hmm.
may significantly influence their life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can gain insight into people and how they respond in different situations by keeping a careful eye on different cultures, backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that only my exposure in Germany and America made me who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to,
Wow.
yeah, I was able to learn about global dynamics and expand my knowledge beyond convention. It's like good times, bad times. You
Mm-hmm.
have to
And
go
how
through.
to stay positive, right? All right, exactly. Now, you know what, Birol? What I can say right now is having your book. I believe that this is really such a, successful creation, because I believe that there are already a lot of readers in there, people in there who would already recognize your book,
Yes,
because again, it's another way of, helping them to not give up. Even though there are negative things of being an immigrant, but still look on a positive side. Don't lose hope, have faith, try to reach that goal, even if you wanted to go to a different country,
yes,
try different cultures, different, doings, but again, just be true to yourself, and also have that time to really let the people understand who you really are.
and
And that's one of the
also
most priceless things that you have done with this book, Bureau.
Also, Leah, I'm getting sometimes emails. They thanking me. They say
Wow,
you inspired me. I'm changing my life. Yeah,
really.
I wasn't so
Mm-hmm.
surprised. It's not only for immigrants. It's actually people are in a similar situation. They
Exactly.
don't see a future. They don't see hope. This gives
Mm-hmm.
them hope. It's actually an example that this book shows you how many hard times we had to go through,
Mm-hmm.
but at
Right.
the end we made it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Right. Wow. That is truly inspirational, Birol. Now, Birol, again, as what I've mentioned earlier, this is really such a successful creation. Now, what key message do you want your readers, which is also unfamiliar with the immigrant experience, to take from your book?
Uh, I really believe with my heart this is a people's book.
That's nice. Uh-huh.
With my,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah, with my book, I have attempted to provide the readers with an experience of what
Mm-hmm.
immigrants go through, from language barriers to financial opportunities and the desire to be with my own family. The life of an immigrant is full of sweet and sour flavors also.
Mm-hmm.
I hope my book and my life uh, will provide my audience with a clear vision of an immigrant's life and how things work when you have to choose between two worlds. Also, one that you must embrace, and the other that you can't let go. This is the immigrant experience.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Birol. And you know what, Birol? One thing that I also love about your book is, again, you telling all people to not really give up. I mean, it is not a wrong thing to choose to be an immigrant, because again, there are a lot of reasons why you chose to be an immigrant. A lot of, variety of reasons, such as, let's say, employment opportunities to escape a violent conflict, from
Yes,
where you're coming from,
yeah,
environmental factors, especially, this is very important, educational purposes,
yes.
what to reunite with our family as well. Wow, thank you so much for that, Birol. And yes, this is really inspirational. And also, Birol, thank you so much for really choosing Reader's Magnet to be part of this journey, not just you trying to reach your goal as an author, but of course, also sharing your experience with us. Thank you so much. Now, Birol, before we end our interview, will you please show your book to our viewers?
Yes, this is my book, Between Two Words by Birol Bahadir.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Birol. There you have it, everyone. That's the book of Mr. Birol Bahadir. And that book is available in Amazon.com, Barnes& Noble, and also his website. That's www.birolbahadir.com, and also available in Goodreads.com. And please do also follow him on all the social media platform he has, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, to know further information about Mr. Birol Bahadir's experience as an author, as a writer, as an immigrant.
Yes,
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Birol Bahadir.
thank,
And yes, everyone, our
thank,
author, Mr. Birol Bahadir, author of the book Between Two Worlds: The
thank you
Life of
for
an
having me
Immigrant.
today. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much,
having me today.
Birol. Okay, you take care and enjoy the rest of your
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Thank you so much.